Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Chair Guys podcast. I'm your co-host, Spiked, or Anthony, alongside with my other co-host,
R.S. Vaughn.
R.S. Vaughn. You already know how it is. And we're joined with a special guest. We're always bringing on special guests for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Guest.
It's what we do. We bring on special guests.
Have we ever had a guest that's not special?
I don't think so. I think all of our guests have been special. Well, actually, no, there was Miles. Not special. Not a special guest in that situation.
Definitely not.
Not special.
We got you, none other than Tommy. What's going on, Tommy?
What's up?
You know him as many names. Yeah, you know him as many names. Many names. All of which I can't remember because you change your @ too many times. That's okay. Bro. We're gonna have their current @ always below their face. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we start some music discussion. All right, Vaughn. Bro. Just to say, how has music been for you recently?
Pretty
check
good,
up on you,
man. Pretty good.
Music, you've been enjoying music recently?
Yeah. What about
Tommy?
You?
What about you? I've been enjoying music. Tommy?
I've been loving it, man.
I think we're all. I think 2022 has been a good year for music.
Love music.
I love music too.
I love music every year.
But to talk about some music we love, there's an artist I feel like we all commonly love that dropped a mixtape. All right. And they go by the name of Young Lean with their new album Stardust.
Mixtape Stardust.
Yeah. Vaughn, why don't you start us off? How do you feel about this project?
All right. Well, I'm a Young Lean fan for sure. Mm-hmm. But lately, honestly, I haven't been feeling the direction he's been going into with Stars. And when Trip dropped, I wasn't that excited. Like, I wasn't that into it, to be honest. But listening to this album a few times, it did take me a couple listens to really get a good opinion on it, but I do come out enjoying this album a lot. I think like it takes a few listens to get used to his vocals and singing just being kind of like rough and just like not very trained singing, obviously, but I think like after a few listens you get used to it, and then it's kind of charming and kind of like a positive in the album, and it's just a pretty cool mixtape. I think still some of the production maybe isn't like that mind-blowing on it. Some songs just don't jump out at me like others do, but overall it's still like pretty enjoyable mixtape, and the highs are definitely like really, really great. I love both of the songs produced by Skrillex. I love the opener. Trip grew on me as well, and I think all the features killed it. So I mean, basically, just like a pretty good tape. I'm happy with it. It's definitely not one of Lean's best works, but it's I'm pretty happy with it. What about you?
So I wanna jump in for a second. Yeah, I definitely actually. Okay, how do you feel about this take that this album is better than Stars?
I agree, but I'm not a big Stars fan, so it's kind of
exactly. Because I re-listened to Stars yesterday because I was like, okay, I kind of need to re-listen to this to kind of see where Lean was going, and I feel like this is a lot better of like a project in the direction that he could go, because he took that. It feels like he took Stars and just kind of like expanded upon it, and also took some elements away from it. But honestly, I like this project way more than Stars, and I actually I quite love this album. There's a lot of things to kind of delve into with it, like the production, like the first Skrillex track, Lips. It's almost like a garage beat. Like I was getting like garage vibes listening to it, and it's really cool. The intro is probably like maybe my favorite Lean intro. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. But the Bliss with FK Twigs, great opener to it.
Yeah.
Stars to the Rainbow is so fucking fun. Like Lean's vocals are still very shaky. He's always been like that. He's always had shaky vocals, and he's always never had, I guess, the best vocals. But like Vaughn said, I think it's like really charming on this album, especially paired with the production. Like I find it very interesting. All of like Drain Gang and Shield Boys are kind of just moving away from kind of what they've been doing. Like I feel like I feel like I could see them in 5 years not even making hip hop at all. Like they're not making rap. They're not making any sort of cloud rap.
I mean, they kind of aren't right now. Honestly.
Yeah, they aren't right now. I mean, yeah, especially when you look at Crest earlier this year. They've just been slowly moving away, and I mean, I think that's fine. Honestly, I think they kind of realize that maybe their time with that is kind of running out, and maybe they want to make more music that can kind of, I guess, I don't know, stand a little bit more of the test of time, I suppose, because I mean they're maturing. Literally, Blade's birthday was this Saturday, and he's like 28. Dude's like 30. I don't think he can be rapping about the same kind of things he does.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of realize that. And so it's nice to see, I feel like Lean maturing a little bit more with this album. He's still lyrically kind of just silly. Like he's got bars like marry my future, then go fuck my past. He's got, bars about it's icy like SeaWorld, which doesn't make sense, but that's okay. SeaWorld it's not ice. Sea is in the name, but that's okay. He's still very much Lean, and that's nice, but he's at least matured a little bit more. He talks about just kind of his issues with girls on this project. In fact, a lot of this album is talking about girls, so I wonder what's been going on. And like Vaughn said as well, features kill it. My favorite feature, actually, I'm already going to get out the way, is Antivon. I think that's how you say it. His rapping in Swedish is so fucking cool. It kind of steals the show.
He was definitely the highlight of that song. I really like this feature,
Paradise Lost is still a great song as is. But yeah, and then you have like Blade and Echo, who also really killed it, carrying over their little crest thing, their little fairy shit that they've been doing. I don't know. It's so funny to hear people say it, fairy shit. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this album, and I think it's like probably like my second favorite Lean project. I will preface, I'm a Lean fan, but I'm never really that big. I was always more Blade and Echo and kind of Drain Gang, not so much Shield Boys and stuff like that. Sad Boys. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm getting cooked tonight. But nah, like I always liked Warlord and stuff like that, and I liked a lot of tracks off of Unknown Memory and stuff. But I feel like this was a very cool sound that I think with Blade and Echo and Lean, if they're all going to be going in this direction, I feel like this is a good like medium and kind of happy space or happy place that they could go with this sound. So yeah, but Tommy, I've been seeing around the grapevine that you have a take that's upsetting the peoples because this album has a lot of division. You know what I'm saying? So let me hear it. What's your thoughts on Stardust?
I really loved it. Honestly, I think it's the best Lean. Like, I can't even lie. Just like when Trip came out, my first listen, I was like, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, I like the song, but I don't know if like I could take like a whole album of like this sound. But the song just kept growing on me, and I became like so excited for the album. And when it dropped, like it just didn't disappoint at all. Like, I think all of the sounds are good. Like, honestly, like I just love that like none of the songs really sound like similar. Like he has like very different like sounds, like especially like, in the production. Like he has a song where it's like the one with Skrillex, it's like the burial type beat almost. Yeah. And then the one before that, it's like hard style. Like it's just like so insane to me, and I'm like, damn, like so nice.
That's crazy. Looking at the like track ratings under your music, that's the lowest track.
I know.
Lips
is my favorite song.
It's my favorite, honestly.
It's my favorite song. I love the fucking instrumental, and his vocals, the effects that they put on his vocals sound so cool. And
I love.
Yeah, it's just like a great.
I love. Yeah, exactly. Like I love all of the vocal deliveries and stuff like that, and all the distortion. Like on Bliss, the way he comes in and his voice sounds like all like noisy and stuff like that. It's all really cool, and I'm so surprised that like Lean fans are so like split on this album, because I guess on first listen I was like, okay, this vocal like, he's kind of dancing the line, but I feel like if you were a Lean fan, like this is where you're already like, he's always had this kind of vocals, you know what I'm saying? Like he's never been the strongest vocally. So I'm surprised to see so much division with this, especially considering his last project was Stars. Like I'm not
surprised
understand.
Because this is like his least cohesive project, I think. And that's probably why he labeled it as a mixtape, because it feels like just a bunch of different ideas. And
to me though, it doesn't feel like it's not cohesive to me.
It's not it is cohesive, but it's definitely like his least cohesive as far as like having the same sound like as a through line of the album.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, but going back to what Tommy said, the hardstyle song, all the things like that's so fucking
That was
crazy. Like the first
insane.
time I
I
heard
love
that,
that song.
it was insane, and that's also one of the like lowest rated tracks on here. Like I don't, I mean, everyone likes Bliss. Like that's what I've been seeing. People are just taking Bliss with this and just kind of moving on. Like they're kind of okay with everything else. People like Summertime Blood, obviously, because it's got Blade and Echo,
Yeah.
and they do their crazy thing on top of that Skrillex production. So yeah, but like I'm just very surprised to see how lean fans are just kind of split with this. Like I don't really know. That's like I've seen people rank it as the worst lean project. I've seen people rank it as like maybe second worst. Like I don't know. It's just very surprising to see, but it didn't let me down. I'm sure as hell not let down. But maybe that's because I didn't have such high expectations for Lean. Not because I don't think he's good, but just because I'm not the biggest fan compared to Blade and Echo. So yeah, but I mean, I think all of the songs on here are like pretty good, and I like all of them. Especially like I said, Stars to the Rainbow. I love that track so much. It's just kind of fun. And yeah, I guess maybe people just what I noticed actually on my first listen, I will say, is I remember saying that some of this felt like Jonathan Leandor tracks, like a lot of them. Like this seems like something that was maybe he's trying to bleed in some of that Jonathan Leandor stuff into the Young Lean alias,
Mm-hmm.
maybe just so that he can actually transition to making more of that. Because we knew actually last year, or it was either this year or last year. I'm pretty sure last year though. He did a track with Dean Blunt, and that was kind of interesting. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting to see where Lena's gonna go, and so I feel maybe this is gonna be like kind of that middle piece to where his next project is gonna be, and I think that's maybe where we're gonna get that full vision, perhaps.
Mm.
But I don't really know. I'm really left to. I guess if anything with this project, I'm left asking for more, simply just because I want to see that full vision that he's got for the project. Because I actually now talking about it, I do agree, Vaughn, that maybe yeah, each track is just kind of a little bit different. Like a waterfall is not the same to like in all the things, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see, you know. But yeah, I don't
We'll
know.
see. Yeah. I think it is maybe gonna end up being kind of like a transitional album, because it's very it's just like Stars had such a like a coherent sound through the whole
Yeah,
thing, and this is more like just kind of like throwing a bunch of different ideas at the wall. And
yeah.
I do prefer to Stars slightly, but like it's definitely like not a it doesn't feel like a full album to me, which is why
Yeah, and I
we
mean
call it a
it's
mixtape,
short.
probably.
It's 35 minutes, you know. It's really not that long. But another thing, you know, I always like to bring it up. The cover, honestly one of the best covers this year.
I
I love
love,
this cover.
dude, the album cover is like beautiful, dude.
It's so fun. I didn't notice
It's
I didn't
so
notice the whole
cool.
like lean throwing back on his nose until someone pointed it out. And so now whenever I look at it, I unfortunately can't like
Yeah, I
unsee
can't
it.
unsee that either.
Yeah.
It's
But then I didn't all like there's so much going on with it like like the TIE fighters in his eyes, that's really
mm-hmm.
cool. The whole like little I don't know, little fucking it looks like Blade did this shit on the bottom right. Like
Yeah,
it
and the
looks
drawings are
really
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, like all the drawing is I forget who did it. Wasn't it like Art Dealer? Isn't it their name?
Oh
Art
yeah, it
Dealer.
was art gallery, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Art Dealer.
fire.
I think they did it, and it's just such a fire cover. It's cool as shit. But yeah, no, I mean lean covers have always been pretty great, honestly, all the time. I've never really been like underwhelmed with a lean cover. So yeah,
Facts.
but nah, just a really cool project. I hope he goes on tour for it. I mean, I want to go see Lean in concert. That would be fire. Um, maybe it wouldn't be as smelly as the Drain Gang shows. Oh my, I haven't been filming this entire time.
No way.
Bro, I got you with the backup. I got
Okay.
you with the backup. Just start filming now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Nah, don't worry. I don't know. I think it stopped because I'm out of storage or something. Um. So just
Damn.
switch to this cam. All right. Switch to this cam. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
you're just gonna have to create a chop for a second. It's gonna be weird, but it's all right. All right. Anyways, getting back into it. Yeah. No. I'm really hyped to see where Lean goes. In all honesty, but I think it's time we move into our favorite track. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulty moment. Um. I will be punished severely after this episode by the higher ups. It's okay though, because you know what? We got some favorite tracks to talk about, and I'm here to spread some praise about our favorite tracks. So let's talk about them. All right, Vaughn, give me your top three.
Okay,
Vaughn, can I have your
top
top
three.
three?
My
Please
favorite
give me your top
track
three.
is Lips. Lips
Uh
is
huh.
fire. And then Bliss is crazy. And then Summertime Blood. So,
Summertime Blood. Okay, I'm fucking with that. That is a good top three. Congratulations on the good top three, Vaughn.
thank you.
Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Tommy, give me your top three.
I'm gonna have to go with Lips, All the Things,
Cool.
and Summertime Blood.
Okay, I'm fucking with that. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Stars to the Rainbow. I'm gonna go with Bliss, and then it's a toss up. It's a tie between All the Things and Lips. That's my top three right there.
All right.
Overall, really good project. Love it. So hyped to see what Lean has to do in the coming years. Maybe even this year. Who knows? Because I mean, this is a mixtape. You know, I feel like if this was the big thing, it obviously would have been an album. You know, but I guess this isn't the big thing. This is just some stuff he wanted to put out, maybe to hold some people over.
Yeah.
Since Lean hasn't dropped since 2020. So yeah. Well, did he have? No, he didn't have an EP or anything really. It was just this. So yeah. But overall, good project. But I think it's time we move in, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited that we finally got this. It has been requested since our first episode, ever since we did the Twitter picked album, requested, heavily requested, and each time it has been slided out, it has been lost, hasn't won, but this time it has won. So we want to thank Bryce or A Coral Room. This is their second time winning. The first album they recommended us, it was Porter Robinson's Nurture. Nurture by Porter. What's wrong with you? But this time you clutched through, and we finally got it, ladies and gentlemen. We won. It won the poll by an overwhelming majority, 50%. 50%. That's insane. That's the most like any poll has ever won. Actually, like it was a complete just. There was no competition. It just won. And that album, enough hyping it up, is Charmed, ladies and gentlemen. It's Charmed by DJ Sabrina, the Teenage DJ. All right, and I want to open it up because this album is. I feel like it's probably. I think it's one of my favorites of all time. It is definitely one of my favorites of all time. I remember this was like I was scrolling through my downloaded on my iPhone, just checking like, oh shit, like what when I first joined music Twitter, what was I listening to? And this was one of the very first albums that I kind of tapped into from music Twitter because I was there for the drop, and I remember just listening to it for the first time like on a road trip in a car. And I'm gonna be real, I fell asleep like halfway through it because it's long, it's 3 hours. Yeah. But I fell asleep. But I knew for a fact while I was sleeping, I was having dreams of like being in like a nightclub and just having like a great ass time. Like I was having such like a trip. And then I finally woke up and I re-listened to the album and I was like, this is really, really good. I love this. I think this is amazing. But I never really understood like how crazy this album truly was until I started to get more into electronic music and I started to realize like the movement on this project is absolutely insane and everything that's going on, what they're doing with the vocal chops and just like I said, the way each track bleeds into one another. True, it's not hard to just fucking fade in and fade out a song and just kind of have them go into one another, but the way it's so seamless, like the first 3 tracks you would think are just one big track. Next to Me, into After the Fall, into Summertime, Car By. The next track really doesn't start until Charmed, track 4. It all just goes by. Next to Me is just the building track. And Next to Me is easily one of the best songs on here. But you start to get into it and it's just the album just keeps going and going and going. And I don't really ever really get tired of it. Obviously, the first couple of tracks is where the majority of the hype of the project is, so I can really reel in that listener. It's also because unfortunately, Sabrina never really I don't know. I check Bandcamp and stuff like that. It's not really marketed, but when you buy the CD, she has like these like tracks at the bottom there, kind of talking about the sweets and the movements. and each CD is like a different movement, and this album is about like the cycle of grief and the 5 stages of grief. So the first couple of tracks are like the denial and anger, like from Next to Me to New Year's Resolution. And you start to kind of realize that like when you listen to it with that kind of headspace, the album starts to like it's in a whole new light for you. Because then you have from like Still Cool to Right Now, you have Bargaining and stuff like that. And that part of the album kind of like dips in, and it's just kind of like very kind of nonchalant. But then you finally have The Feel, which is like depression and acceptance. And that's where the album kind of like finally comes back up, and it kind of hits that high point. And then it ends off with like End of an Era and Charmed Life, like that. Those two like fucking gargantuan long tracks. And it's just fucking insane. Like, I'm always so moved by this project when I listen to it. I could talk on forever about it, but I know I'm going on a little bit too long. So I'm gonna pass it over to, not you, Vaughn, not you, but I'm gonna pass it to Tommy. All right, I'm gonna pass it to Tommy to talk about it, because from what I can remember, I'm pretty sure you like this project, but I could be wrong. So Tommy, let me know.
I do. It's a wonderful project, dude. It's like,
yeah,
it's like one of those albums that it really encapsulates you and like the feeling. Like anytime I listen to it, because like it's so long. I remember the first time I listened to it was just the 3 hours straight. I just in my room, and like I just felt like I was in a nightclub. Like it's really like it really like, and it's not even like any nightclub. It's just because there's so many different sounds, but it feels like really like cohesive. Like it has like all the same vibe. It's like, I don't know. It's like it just really like gets you in there, and you really feel like you're like in the 80s, like in a nightclub, like dancing and shit, and you're just feeling yourself all the time. Like it's just like such a happy album. Like anytime I hear any song off of it, I just like completely like immerse myself, and I'm just like I feel it like so much. It's so good.
Yeah, no, I wanna go back on you on that, because yeah, like she definitely gives us this like 80s 90s mesh, especially with using all the samples from the DJ Sabrina show, or I mean just Sabrina the Teenage Witch show. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool, her use of vocals. I don't really get tired of it, and it really adds to it. Especially with Next to Me, and where all the people are talking, that the album is starting up. Like Next to Me is just such a fucking effective track, because it starts you off, it gets you into the mood, and it just feels like you're like on the way to the nightclub. You know what I'm saying? You're not there, you're going there. You got all your friends chatting up and stuff like that, and it's just so effective, and it puts you in such a happy mood, and such a good environment. Like the atmosphere she creates on this album is so fucking good. I love it.
Yeah.
Her art style, like all of her album covers are fucking great. I love all of her album covers. And especially this one the most. A lot of people are always turned away, I guess, by her art style, but I love it. I think it's really cool. It aligns with her aesthetic so much.
Yeah.
I think the fact that she's never shown herself really works with the aesthetic as well, because I mean it would kind of take away from the whole like Sabrina the Teenage DJ kind of thing and stuff like that. So it's just really cool how well she can kind of build a world with this album. And it's just so cool to see how the album progresses from track 1 all the way into track 31. So yeah, it's just really fucking cool. But Vaughn, what do you think about this project?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Next to Me is like is a fucking masterpiece of a song. Like the way it builds, and then when the kicks finally come in, it's like pure bliss, dude. And and the rest of the album is great too, of course. It does kind of like obviously blends together for me after Next to Me, which is definitely intentional, because every track bleeds into the next, and it's 3 hours. There's no way I can remember everything, but it's like it's just like, I don't know, it's a pure happiness in this album, and it does get kind of emotional like near the end. Even on Next to Me, it's very emotional track for me.
Because Next to Me kind of has that like, it starts up and then it has that second phase, and then the third phase is like the release of it all.
But and also the melody is just very like kind of bittersweet to me. Like it's very it's just an emotive kind of song, man. And I love the fact that it's 3 hours, because I feel like if it was like an hour, honestly, if it was like an hour, it might not be as good. And if it was like 2 hours, it might get stale. But then once you reach the 3 hours, it's like, holy shit, this is 3 hours, and every song is like so good, and it's kind of a spectacle at that point. I'm just like, holy shit, like, how do you make a 3 hour album with this much like every song is like so consistently great. And,
Yeah.
and it
No.
feels like you're in that world, and the length definitely helps you with that, because once it's over, it's like you're like empty, bro. It's like
Yeah.
fucking fucked up, dude.
No, because it takes
Um,
away. And Charmed, like the track Charmed is just so fucking good. I mean, I know she has like two of the same name on here,
yeah,
but like,
Charmed Life.
yeah, Charmed Life. My bad. Charmed Life is just. I love the two final tracks. Like it's just they're so fucking long, and that's really what makes this album like pretty fucking long. Literally, just tracks 30, 31, and 27 take up like 30 minutes of this 3 hour long album. And Sabrina's known for this. I mean, literally, she dropped like a combined 4 hours of music on one day, recently with Making Magic 2, and The Other Realm. So yeah, like this is what she's known for, and I would honestly like if I saw DJ Sabrina drop like an hour long album, I would low key be disappointed at this point, which is honestly maybe like kind of shooting herself in the foot. I don't really think so because she can effectively get like an hour's worth of music done. I mean, she does so many URL fests, and she always is doing them. Like she just makes fucking music and cranks them out at a ridiculous rate. And it's so cool. But yeah, I do agree with you, Vaughn. Like if this album was only the first hour, like from I would say Next to Me to like maybe Feel the Pain 1, I would kind of be like underwhelmed and wanting more because I was like, you have all this energy building up, but then where's the release?
I
There's no
wouldn't I
release.
wouldn't really say that, but I think if it had like a proper closer, and if it was an hour, then it would be fine. It would be I mean, pretty much just as good, but I think that the length adds another dimension to the album, and lets you get immersed in the sound even more. So
Yeah.
it's
No, and I
I love that
also
it's 3 hours, and I don't really get bored either, because you're just like immersed
no.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that just kind of goes on, and it's just like driving you. It's that driving force, like
Yeah,
I
I mean,
said.
it can even act like kind of like ambient music. Like you don't need to be
Mhm.
paying attention to it
Yeah.
24 like the whole time you listen.
I fall asleep to her music a lot. Like I remember one night I fell asleep to Making Magic. Like that's just a great album to just kind of fall asleep to.
Yeah, even though it's so energetic and upbeat, it's definitely there's something about the mixing, and just like the sample choices that kind
Yeah.
of make it easy to fall asleep, because it's so like beautiful, beautifully layered and lush, and like
Yeah.
and just like the samples just like bleed into each other, and like and obviously the whole thing's the same BPM, and the whole thing is the same, like there's no like sudden
Yeah.
halts or pauses or stops, so
Yeah, no,
it's
it feels really colorful, and
yeah.
and well, there is some kind of like not sudden stops, but there's tracks that she uses to kind of transition. Like you have like by the pool. You know, you have
Yeah.
this is this is the remix. You know that I love that track actually. That's a pretty short track, but
Yeah,
just all
yeah.
the samples thrown of this is the
That's low key one of
remix.
my favorite songs, because it's just so
Yeah, like
fun.
it's just so fun. Like she has a
It's
very
cool as shit.
effective way of just like changing gears. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I love this project so much, because her movement, the way she can just start you from like just kind of being calm to just like getting in, and you're really starting into it. Like for example, Feel the Pain 1. That's my favorite track on this album, simply just because the way it starts off, it has that kind of lush sound into it, and you just get fucking into it, and you're going and you're going and you're going, and then it switches up again until where the vocals come in, and it's just like this album just makes you fucking want to dance, and I mean we've seen that I remember the week the album was out, there was a dude who danced to like all 3 hours of it, and she posted it to her YouTube. It's just this dude dancing for 3 hours to the entire album, never stopping. And it's just an album that like I feel like during the year of 2020 was also so effective that people needed, you know, they needed something to dance to, you know, and that's why it really blew up on like Rate Your Music. I mean, it was like I remember people would not shut the fuck up about this album, and that's really why I checked it out. I mean, it's number 16 on the charts for 2020. Like that's crazy that someone this small could end up having such this big of a release, especially when you like she tackles so many genres as well in this project. Like Vaughn is right. It is so baffling to me how you could tackle like this many genres in 3 hours time and do it so effectively. Like it's fucking insane. Like this album is like a monolith to me. It's just absurd. I don't know. Tommy, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, adding on what we were saying about like the different genres. I just think it's like really cool how like she's able to like blend like two like she's able to blend like really like Daft Punk like influence house with like music like with other like house that has like a very like outsider house, like no pun intended, like charm to it, and like it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
sounds like so like good together, and like you can't even tell that it's like different influences, because it just sounds like so good together. It's insane. Like
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea how like she does it. It's so like intricate.
Yeah.
And I love that, one of the most effective things, and you is just kind of throwing it back and stuff like that, and I just kind of love the way she throws back to a lot of things. And yeah, she's bringing back these like old genres. Like French house is around. I'm not saying it's dead, but like when was the last time we got like a fucking like a crazy French house record? Like that was something that was in the 90s a lot, and a little bit in the 2000s with Daft Punk, obviously with Daft Punk. But like a lot of these genres for me, like unless you're really tapped into those scenes, you're not getting a lot of it as much anymore. And so to see her bring this throwback kind of thing, because that's really what her aesthetic drives on, this whole throwback with with a little bit of a fresh spin. I love that bringing back of old aesthetics and stuff like that, and it's super effective. I mean, for instance, like fashion, you see a lot of fashion kind of fads that were in the 90s really like fucking popping now in our generation. Doc
Yeah.
Martens, for example, that's something you see. And so she also kind of taps into that. If you watch her music videos, all of her music videos are just like these old like fashion runways and stuff like that most of the time. It's like she really knows how to put a nostalgia factor on something. And it also just makes me curious, like that's also the question that's always begged, like who is DJ Sabrina? Because part of me does want to put a face to it, honestly. I want to know who she is, because what if she's just like someone who's like maybe in their 20s, they didn't experience the 90s. So it's also like something so interesting to think about. I don't know,
I think
there's
that's
just
probably likely because
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but like I would be interested, like maybe DJ Sabrina's like 40 years old or some shit like that. Like that'd be fucking crazy, And so they're just giving us what she had in the 90s. I have no fucking clue, in all honesty. There's probably an interview somewhere where she's like, yeah, I'm probably like 20 or some shit like that. But yeah, and with her earlier projects, and she does it on here, you could tell a lot of her influences. She wears her influences with pride, honestly.
yeah.
I get a lot of Jay Dilla from her earlier projects. I get a lot of like Jai Paul, honestly.
You just
Um,
read the Rate Your Music thing.
Yeah, I did, but like I do see it.
You're just
and
lying.
I,
You're just lying.
no,
I'm
because
done
I
with this
listened to
kid.
the
I'm done with
project.
this kid.
I read the interview.
There's literally a thing on
and I
Rate Your
listened to the
Music.
project. I listened
Anthony
to the
is
project with
addicted
that
to
in
Rate Your
mind.
Music. No, there's
No,
literally a thing on
okay.
Rate Your Music that says interview with DJ Sabrina.
No, bro, don't
Interview with
expose
DJ
me.
Sabrina
Don't expose me.
on Charmed and her influences from Jay Dilla to Jai Paul.
Yes, because she like said
That's
that.
dope.
Like I'm talking about her influences. Is that not fair? Is that not valid?
Yeah, but don't frame it as your own discovery that these are her influences.
I'm reading shit that she said in an interview. Whatever.
I'm gonna
exposing
call
me.
you out, bro. Because
You
like
are
I'm sick
exposing
of
me-
your lies and deceit. So
What lies? Okay, whatever. I'm not entertaining this. I just wanted to point that out, that she wears her influences, and I was just listing some of the ones she's explicitly said, but this dude just want to shit on me. So that's okay. You do that. You do you. I hope that made you happy.
I think
I'm
there are
happy
some
for you.
influences that are more obvious.
Okay, well, yeah, like Daft Punk, but like Tommy already said that,
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, Charmed. I mean, like I said, we could go on for this project forever, but let's not. I mean, there's so much to it. I mean, I'm just gonna start reading the descriptors. Triumphant, surreal, concept album, female vocals. Love some female vocals.
There's some male vocals too.
There's some male vocals. Sentimental. Sampling. But I think it's time we talk about the top 3. Because there's a lot of tracks on here. There's a lot of tracks. It's 31.
Yeah.
So, God damn it, Vaughn, bro. Okay.
What?
I
I
hate
just
you.
said yeah. I just said yeah.
I hate you, bro.
Bro,
Okay.
why are you so mean, dude? Like, oh. my God.
Tommy, give me your top 3. Give me your top 3, Tommy.
Top 3.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with Next to Me.
Okay.
Charmed Life, and Nyakuza Metro Cats.
Oh,
Oh,
good
that
pick.
one's
Good
fire.
pick.
That was fire. That's a good
Deep
top three,
cut.
Tommy. Congratulations on the good top three. Vaughn,
Thank you, Anthony.
give me your top three.
Next to Me and Feel the Pain one.
Oh, there you go.
And
I remember, bro.
End of an
I
Era.
remember. I'm gonna expose Vaughn real quick. I remember I was talking about this album a couple months ago,
You
and
put
we were
me on.
talking
You
about
put me
it.
on.
I put him on Feel the Pain
Feel the
one.
Pain one. Well, the thing is, like, it's so hard to pick favorite tracks from this because it really just blends into each other, and most of the time I'm not
Yeah.
even looking at the track list. So Anthony
Yeah,
would
but
just
I'll-
play me Feel the Pain one like by itself a lot, and
Yeah, I'd have to
definitely
check. I'd have to check my scrobbles on it, but I
a
think that's my
crazy
most
song.
scrobble track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So my top three is gonna have to go Feel the Pain one. It's got to be Next to Me. I mean, if Next to Me is not in your top three,
Next
come
to
on,
Me
don't be a contrarian.
is like maybe one of the best house songs of all time
Yeah.
for me. At least
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
Definitely.
Like I'm not super like there's probably like some underrated classic picks that I don't know of, but
Yeah,
as
and
far as
especially
like
because
rate your music house albums, at least like that's
yeah,
like,
especially because just like house is more so like a kind of a singles kind of genre. you
yeah.
know?
So there's
Singles
got to
are
be
really
some stuff out there.
yeah.
that I
There's
haven't heard.
there's
That's
always some underrated heat to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then probably my third favorite track is probably got to be I'm gonna say End of an Era. I absolutely love End of an Era. It kind of just the ending is so fantastic to me. But yeah, no.
fantastic.
This is just I just like I said, I can tout on about this album forever. It's just so special to me. It's so interesting, and it's crazy sauce. It's crazy sauce. But it's time to switch gears, like she does. It's time to switch gears into something a little bit more cool. You know what I'm saying? Something a little bit more, something a little bit more interesting. And that next album is the classic album picked by none other than Tommy, and it is going to be Dean Blunt's Black Metal. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dean Blunt's Black Metal. I'm going to let Tommy take the floor, talk about it. Why you feel this is a classic, what you love about it, let me know. Talk to me.
I gotta say, black metal, it's very special to my heart. You know, this is like, I don't know, I don't remember when I found this, but it was like sometime like in early 2020. I just came across it probably on Rate Your Music, and I just like instantly like I fell in love with it. Like all like the sounds, it's just like I don't know. It has like a very it's weird because like it sounds like almost it's like a cowboy album. Like I've always described it like that. Like you kind of feel like you're in like some like Wild West type shit. You're like like a whole like standoff, but like at the same time there's like so much like different like worlds that it, like immerses you in because there's like tracks that have like grime like influence and shit like that, and it's just like damn like it's just so insane. And Dean Blunt's vocals on this album are just amazing, probably like one of his best. I mean, Dean Blunt, like he's my favorite artist of all time, honestly. So I love like pretty much everything he's done. Like his consistency is insane. But this, I definitely feel like this is his magnum opus. It's like the production is on another level. I really like the drums. It's like I didn't really notice it until recently, but I've been like, cause I have it on vinyl. It's probably the one that I like spin the most, and I always look at the drums. Like it sounds like really nice. One thing that I want to say about this album is like black metal is not black metal without Joanne Robertson. Her vocals are like so insane on any like all the tracks that she's in, and they definitely like help like create the whole vibe that just like makes it such a good album.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
I love this album. It took me a while to I still feel like it still hasn't fully clicked with me. Like there's some songs on here like Mersh and Country that I don't really see, like I don't really like get the point of in the context of the album really. But I think for the most part like every song on here other than those two is like beautiful. Especially the first 6 or 7 songs are like amazing, dude. I love just the first half of this album and the instrumentation on there contrasted with Dean Blunt's like so unique delivery, and like his voice is just like so memorable, and especially on top of those type of instrumentals. and it's just like beautiful stuff, dude. Like I love the and Joanne Robertson also adds to that like contrast with his like his very like I don't know the word, but like he has such a distinct vocal style and voice, and it just it's so unique. Like I've never heard anything that sounds like black metal really, and I think that's like its biggest strength is just like so unique. And sorry, Anthony, you take the
Yeah.
floor for a sec.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry, bro. I mean, this album it does leave you speechless.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's kind of hard to kind of hard to.
it's
put
a
my
hard
finger
album to
on.
wrap your head around because
Yeah.
simply because of who Dean Blunt is, kind of like as a person. There's such a mysticism to them, because they're just so like they're so detached sometimes from their music, as far as like this is a very personal album, obviously, because they talk about a lot about love. That's really I'd say like the main focus of this album is just about this longing for the person we see on Lush with some of the vocals, that he's into this girl who isn't into him. It's like unrequited love and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of this album is about. It's very personal, but at the same time, it feels like Dean Blunt isn't like he's separate from his music.
Yes.
Someone
Yeah.
for example, someone I absolutely love is like Sade. She sings about the most personal things ever on her music, but she never does interviews. She's done maybe one or two ever, you know. She's someone who that's where you're gonna get to know them with their music and stuff like that. But then as far as who they are in person, as a person, you don't really know much of them. They're very private and stuff like that. And I think that gives into Dean Blunt's music a lot because of just how many aliases he has. And I'm gonna be upfront. When I first listened to this project, I thought it was good, but the tracks that really impeded me from enjoying it was like a Forever and like an X, and then like the rest of the track list after like from Lush to Heavy or Molly and Aquafina. Um, I was always like, okay, what are we doing here? I was so confused with it. But then I ended up just re-listening to it one day because I was just like, why not? And I was like, man, I love this. This is pretty good. Like I get Forever and I get X, and then just another listen, and then I was like, holy shit! Like it had finally clicked with me. I realized how amazing this project was, and upon re-listen, this time I actually wanted to sit there and listen to the lyrics because an album like this, like Dean Blunt's vocals can just kind of carry with you and just kind of go on in your head, and you can just kind of put it on and just kind of tune out. But like when you actually sit there and listen to the lyrics, like he's just talking about this girl, and he's very back and forth on some tracks. He's a very undecisive person on this album, and it's just very interesting because he does talk about someone he loves, but he does it in such a way like he has a hard time expressing it, and I find that so interesting. And yeah, I do like the point Tommy brings up with like the whole cowboy kind of thing. Like Dean Blunt has an interesting way of singing, and it kind of takes you aback for a second because you look at pictures of him, and you're like, oh, this is how he sings. Like really, like I wouldn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Because he dresses good, but I would think this motherfucker dresses with like a cowboy hat on half the time. Like he really does. I really do see like that cowboy thing that Tommy brings up. Like he does sound like that, especially with tracks like 50 Cent and stuff like that. Like that shit sounds like some Wild West, and it's so interesting. But that is another thing. Yeah, Joanne, like I love her singing so much on this project. And Tommy is right. This album would be nothing without her. Especially on, oh my God, on Forever. Her singing on Forever is just fucking gorgeous. And that track in general just feels like these cascading shards clashing into each other a bunch of times. And I absolutely love it. And I love its length too. It's such an appropriate length. And I don't know, man. This project is so just absurdly cool to me. Like he's a very down to earth, very cool person. And unfortunately, I have not listened to a lot of his other side projects. I haven't listened to anything by Baby Father. I haven't listened to anything by Hype Williams. I've really just only listened to I've listened to Black Metal. I've listened to Black Metal 2, and I've listened to Black is Beautiful. And that's really about it. Like I need to get more into him because like what I do is I end up just being like, I'm going to listen to more Dean Blunt. But then I just turn on Black Metal, and then I just kind of could just kind of keep refreshing that. So yeah, I feel like I have a lot more to go, but yeah, no, I absolutely love this project. And I just want to give a side note. One of the best descriptors I've heard for this album is by a good friend of ours, Seer. They describe this album as ultimate dystopia and utopia. And I gotta say, I love that review. Seer, if you're watching this, keep up those reviews. That was a great one. But yeah, no, this is just absolutely a crazy, crazy freaking album. I gotta get more into Dean Blunt. In fact, Tommy, talk to me. Where do you think I should go next? Where do you think I should go next? In the Dean Blunt, not Baby Father, not Hype Williams just yet. Just with Dean Blunt.
Okay.
Where should I go next?
I would say definitely the next step is the Redeemer.
Redeemer.
It's like it's probably. I mean, I feel like Dean Blunt. None of his albums are really that similar to each other, but the Redeemer is like the closest that can be like similar to black metal. It's really good too. Like it's just like same as black metal. It's like every song just like sounds different, but it feels like it's the same vibe on everything. It's like I don't know. It's a very holy album. It just like makes you like so relaxed and shit. But the Redeemer is definitely a good place to go. What did you think about Black is Beautiful?
I thought Black is Beautiful was really cool, but like I think I need a little bit more time with it before I can kind of like fully kind of because it's weird. It's so different from what black metal is and black metal 2 is like. So I was just like, this is interesting, but just Heiston wanted me to listen to it one day, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's listen to it. And it's definitely like I don't know, he barely sings on it, you know, and it's very barren and minimalist at times. So yeah, I don't know. I need a little bit more time with that one, but
Yeah, because Black is Beautiful is it's Hype Williams because he's doing it with Inga Copeland. Like their
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
is definitely like, honestly like I feel like Hype Williams is maybe I don't know honestly like Dean Blunt. I feel like he's the most consistent artist ever because I remember a couple of weeks ago or something like we were having a debate about like whether Dean Blunt or James Ferraro was better. And I used to be like hugely into James Ferraro. He was like my number one guy.
Yeah.
But like over like the past like year and a half, I've just been like transitioning to listening to more Dean Blunt. Because the thing with James Ferraro is his highs, they're really high. But oh man, his consistency, it's not good. It's just not good. Like
I agree.
he has like hundreds of albums where it's just like drone and like it feels genuinely horrible to say this what I'm about to say. But after listening to so much of it, it's not even music. It's literally just noise, dude. Like I try to like make it out as something and I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to right now? Like what is this?
Yeah, and actually,
I feel
I'll
you.
riff on you on that because I was Team Dean Blunt because under that post that Vom posted one day, just as a troll, he didn't even really mean for that thing to take off. Vom posted
Yeah.
it just kind of as a troll. A lot of people were Teams James Ferraro. A
I'm
lot of
Team
people.
James Ferraro.
I'm Team Dean Blunt because honestly, and I gotta keep it real. The only reason why is because I've only heard like one James Ferraro project. I've only heard. Actually, no. I've heard two now. I've heard two because I listened to Silica Joe. So that counts. That counts because that isn't really even like Yves Tumor. It's mostly James Ferraro. So I've listened to two projects by him, and I've only listened to like three for Dean Blunt. So if I had to choose, I'm gonna take Dean Blunt over. And yeah, I can get that. Like if you put out like so many albums, you're bound to just be kind of inconsistent at times.
Yeah,
And I've looked at
that's the thing.
descriptors like
He has like so many fucking projects. Like it's not even fair to call him inconsistent to me because like he still has like so many great albums in there, and
That's true.
in my opinion, like I haven't there's still some Dean Blunt I haven't tapped into at all. That's like that. Like I haven't heard. I've heard like half of his albums under Dean Blunt, maybe. Oh, not even half. No, but I've heard much more James Ferraro, and I just like his highs a little bit better. But I do agree from what I've heard, Dean Blunt's like more consistent because James Ferraro just has like
why do you say it like that? Ferrero? Isn't it Ferraro?
I don't know,
James
bro.
Ferraro? Why you say it Ferrero? Why you gotta be so
Why
white
are you
about it?
bullying me?
I'm bullying you because you bullied me.
Like, as if you don't pronounce shit wrong all the time, Anthony. Like if I called you out
Okay.
every time, that would be like the whole episode, bro. Like so, don't even get started on me.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Just saying.
Okay. Hey,
Calm down, guys.
calm down now. Calm down now.
We need to have a chill discussion about music.
Yeah, let's
No
have
one
a
gets to
let's reel it back in, Vaughn. You see what I'm doing? I'm fishing you back in, all right? I'm reeling you back in.
I woke up on the
Okay.
wrong side of the bed this morning.
Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed this
Yeah.
morning?
Yep.
Ooh, that's always. You know what's crazy? You know what I would do? I would. It's a bad experiment. Don't do it. I don't know why, but your body doesn't like it. If you try sleeping where you usually like have your feet, you try sleeping there. Ooh, it's bad.
I've done it before. It was nice.
No, I don't like it.
I like
I wake
it. I like
Yeah, I
wake up-
liked
I
it. It
wake
was
up
a
with
it was a nice change of pace.
I wake up with like a migraine, and I'm like, oh, dude, like I feel like poop in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, don't say that word on our podcast.
okay, what's wrong with saying the word poop? Like,
Don't
like it's
say
just
that.
poop.
Don't say that
Don't,
word, bro.
don't be a child
Don't say
about
that
it. Like
word,
it's
bro.
just
That is
okay,
a disgusting word.
whatever. But I'm sorry to hear that you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I hope maybe afterwards you can turn on some Dean Blunt, kind of like help you chill out. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
hell to the nah.
Because I will say, yeah, listening to Dean Blunt is like it's just a beautiful experience. You know, it's just he kind of takes you away on his horse, you know, and then you guys ride off into the sunset.
Okay,
You know, it's like
yeah, I like your point about like him not doing interviews. He's very mysterious and stuff because even beyond not doing the interviews, like even in his own song, like I think his delivery and his kind of like monotone voice, it
Yeah.
kind of reflects that mysteriousness already, like within the sound of the song. So it's a there's like a clear contrast there, but somehow it kind of reverses it and makes it more personal sounding. Like
Yeah.
it's a very weird. It's just such a unique sound. Like and that's really like what I love about it so much is having a beat like Lush or like 100 with like such like a beautiful like guitar and like soft
Yeah.
instrumentation, and then he's just like with his British accent and monotone deep voice, like
Yeah.
it's very interesting, but it's very beautiful.
And also kind of like on a selfish level, it allows me to kind of sing it like and not sound like
Oh,
garbage.
that's
Cause
a
like
good point.
yeah, 50 Cent, like I can just why I want a girl who doesn't want me back. You know, it's just fun. It's fun to sing. And then you have
Okay, I hear the cowboy thing when you say that.
Yeah.
Actually,
why I want a girl who doesn't want me back. And then
What?
Joanne
Bro,
Robertson.
yeah.
Joanne Robertson's like Bonnie, and she's like, I cannot believe. Yeah, I can't do her
Bonnie and
parts.
Clyde.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
too. My voice is too scratchy today. But like, I sometimes when I'm in the shower, I'll be singing her parts, and then I let Dean take it away. You know what I'm saying? So maybe like one of these days,
yeah.
I need like a duo. You know, and like I just do a cover album of black
In the
metal.
shower?
Yeah, in the shower. Oh wait, no. I don't mean someone get in the shower with me.
Oh,
No. I don't mean it like that.
bro,
Like,
come on, bro.
hold on. Pause.
TMI, like.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. No, and he's got like trying to let go, but I can't relax. And then she's like, "You're back again, you're back again." Like, bro, I love
Doing
that.
it with
Like,
the cowboy rhythm, bro. Like.
yeah, no, well, that's how the rhythm goes. You know what I'm saying? That's how the rhythm goes. Like, it feels like he's on a horse, and so he's got to sing a little bit differently. You know? He's like 5-0 coming, and I know
He's
my
bouncing
name.
on the horse, bro.
Yeah.
What the
Wait, actually, hold on.
fuck? Why?
Wait. Hold on.
That's
Give
so
me one
weird,
second.
like, I
Give me,
never
give me
saw it
one.
like
Hold on,
that.
hold on. Vaughn, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on. Give
I
me
think-
1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put this into perspective a lot better for you. Okay, you feel me? All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, you see, you got the cowboy hat,
That's not a
and then
cowboy
this is like
hat, dude.
this is like Dean Blunt, you know, and it's like 5-0 coming, and I know my name. And then she goes and it's like
Oh my
got a
God.
new girl running, and I hope she game. You know, it's like he's on a horse and he's like going up and down. You know, it's like that's how I feel. That's how the project makes me feel. Like it makes me feel like a
I think you
badass.
just ruined
get
black
that, I
metal
get
for
that.
me.
No, bro, I didn't ruin it. I just completely made it click for you. Trust me, on your next listen, it's gonna sound
It's gonna be
badass.
a 10. It's gonna
Imagine
be a
you
10.
with the fucking cowboy hat.
Bro,
Like,
that's
I'm not gonna be able to get that out of my head now.
Yeah.
but that's
that's crazy.
fire. Like that's fire.
It's
Like
good, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's
yeah,
good.
It's
that's how it makes
fire.
me feel.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know
how.
I don't know if you might live to regret this.
Nah, I don't think so.
All right.
It was okay.
We'll see.
Nah, but and I think that's the song where he most sounds like a cowboy, and that's 50 Cent. That song is pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
fucking funny,
Nah, but
dude.
that's how I imagine it. Like I've always imagined it like that. Like it's interesting though, cause he's like a dude from like London or some shit, right? Like isn't he from? He's British. Yeah, he's from Hackney. Hackney.
Hackney?
That's cool.
Yeah, he's from a place called Hackney, Greater London.
Mm.
I mean,
So,
yes,
yeah.
it's just London. It's just London.
Yeah, it's just London. But yeah, so and it's funny because it's like I don't know, you wouldn't think someone who is from London and stuff like that could do something like this. And that's I mean, I guess that's just hypnagogic pop in general. Like I mean, I haven't really gotten into hypnagogic pop as a whole. That's always been one of those genres that like I see you, but I don't really care about you. You know, it's like I see you,
Damn.
but I don't really care, you know? And so I never really cared about hypnagogic pop up until with like Dean Blunt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, I just
Um,
realized. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna tell you. Aside from like Dean Blunt stuff, you should listen to Hotep by Blue Iverson, because that's like another Dean Blunt project, and it's like R&B. It's really good. Like I think you would
Ooh.
definitely fuck with it. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's the one that has the Lauryn Hill cover.
yeah,
Have
I'm
you seen
looking
it?
at it. It's the only project I think under other than
Yeah,
more
it's the
road
I'm
only
gonna
one
have
they
to
shows.
have.
check that out for sure.
That's just the bootleg. That's like some. I think. Bro, I forgot who made that. Somebody made that. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you should listen to that, dude. You'd fuck with it.
Are there any
Both of you
Dean
would probably
Blunt?
fuck with
Are
it.
there any? Are there any Dean Blunt bootlegs I gotta listen to? Oh yeah, no more parties in E8,
Like no more
Yeah.
right?
parties, definitely, bro. Definitely no more parties. That one's
Oh yeah,
amazing. And if you haven't heard Roaches, definitely check that out too.
yeah. Because actually, this is that's a Lucy I've heard is as long as ropes unravel, fake Rolex will travel. That's a beautiful, beautiful,
That's one of my
beautiful
favorite
song.
songs from him for sure.
Yeah, no, that's like that shit is like insane to me. But yeah, Black and actually the only other thing Dean Blunt related I've watched is I watched like a live performance of him in like a fucking basement and like half of his performance is just like noise, like static noise and it's like it's really interesting. His performances seem really cool. I'd low-key be interested in going to one because they seem
Mm.
like a weird like I don't know. He always does something a little bit different. Because I was reading the comments of that performance, and supposedly they had like the audience like wait in this like weird room for an hour, and then they brought him down to like the stage and shit like that. It's not even really like a stage. Like Dean Blunt is just kind of like in front of him, just kind of like singing, and so it's
Yeah, it was
interesting.
just
It's
like a room.
yeah, it's just like a room. It's weird as fuck. It's like a boiler room or some shit like that. But yeah, no. Overall, like Dean Blunt's really cool, and like I said, he's like a cowboy. You know, so you just gotta imagine it. You know, Vaughn, if you put your hand out, you know how to ride a horse. You know how to ride on a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I just imagine like what you gotta do is you gotta put one hand out. You put a hand here. You just go up and down like a horse. You know, dun, 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 dun. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it's how it just makes me feel badass, and I feel like the cowboy aesthetic is kind of going into that. You know, but let's move
Yeah,
into favorite
I get
tracks.
that.
Favorite tracks. Representing Broward County, Tommy. Tommy,
Bro.
let me know. Let me know.
All right. Number one has to be 100. It's literally my most played song of all time. I think
Wow.
on I'm not sure if on Spotify, but on Last FM it is.
Hmm.
And then number two, I'm gonna have to go with Molly and Aquafina. And for number three, maybe 50 Cent. Actually, now that I think about it, or Lush. It's a
W.
very close tie.
W. I have the
That's a,
same top three. I would go 100, Molly and Aquafina and Lush. Those songs are fucking beautiful, dude. Fucking beautiful.
big W's to the both of you. Congratulations. I'm unfortunately here to be a stick in the mud and say I have a different top three.
Okay.
All right. So I got Forever. I got Punk. And then I got probably either 50 Cent or 100. It's a tie between the two. But that's my top three. Excuse
All
me, why are you giving
mid.
me a thumbs down?
All mid.
Okay,
Downvote.
All mid.
downvote. Bro, are you guys excited for editing tweets to come to Twitter? Are y'all excited for that?
Is that actually happening?
It's gonna come in the next few months, yeah.
Oh, bro.
I think that's gonna be
It's gonna make for
interesting.
some fun antics, you know.
Yeah,
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
gonna be
stuff is
fun.
definitely gonna happen.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
just wish they would bring back fleets, bro. Like that's all I wish for.
okay, I think Elon Musk, like
Elon
Elon Musk, if
Musk,
you're watching this,
tap
please
into
bring back
fleets.
fleets.
Tap into fleets.
Bro, I don't think you understand the potential of fleets, Elon Musk. It was a beautiful time
It
on Earth,
was
bro. Like
that was like the
fleets.
best time of my life. Fleets,
Because
prime
it made it so
fleets.
you didn't have to make unnecessary tweets. You know what I'm saying? Like you could just fleet into the
Also,
space. And even
feet fleets. Elon Musk, if you're not convinced on fleets yet, just think about the feet fleets, bro.
The feet fleets. There were some crazy feet fleets out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to think about it, Elon Musk. There's a lot of untapped potential there that I think the investors would be very happy if you brought back.
Yes.
Just think about it. I fleets, just refleet Joe Henderson. That
Dean
was one of the
Blunt
best.
fleets.
Dean Blunt fleets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Too many
But
types
well,
of fleets, man.
yeah, oh man, Twitter is just in a hellscape right now. Spaces fell off. No one who fucks with a
Bro.
space anymore. Spaces are lame.
I miss spaces.
Spaces were cool for like a bit, and then they're just kind of boring now because
They
they're so
fell
laggy.
off. NFTs
Fa-
fell off.
NFTs fell off. Like that's crazy.
NFTs
Like
fell off.
I was so excited to buy my first ever Bored
I
Ape,
was
but
so
then
excited
they
for the
fell
future
off.
of NFTs. You know, I thought it would run the economy of the world, but I guess not.
Yeah, the Chief Keef NFTs had a lot of potential, but it just
We
didn't
missed
really
out
work
on
out.
the Fair Guys NFT, dude. Could
Okay,
have been crazy.
yeah, that was in the works, but like
It was in the works.
it was in the works.
It was in the works.
But yeah, no. Overall, interesting times we're in, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, can we? Yeah.
And I think,
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
hey, I'm getting there.
Let's wrap it up.
I'm giving my monologue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to the Chair Guys podcast. We want to give a big shout out to Todd Edwards. Tommy, big fan of Todd Edwards.
Of course, dude. I love
know
the
you are.
card.
I know you are.
All
All right. We want to give a big shout out to Tommy. Tommy's one of the realest ones out here. You know, they're chill as fuck. I love Tommy. Love Tommy so much. Tommy, I heart you. I heart you. I greater sign 3U. Let's give a heart. Give a heart.
Shout out.
Big heart to Tommy. The real one. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that has been all for the Chair Guys podcast. I've been Anthony. I've been with my co-host
Ours fun.
and Tommy. And we'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Peace.